Where in the world is... Hey everyone, this is Worth the Binge, a series that I've been meaning to start for a while now. My friends would always ask me for recommendations on shows to watch, and they would always joke that I should make YouTube videos, especially now that everyone has to be at home more. I figured this is the perfect time to start this. In terms of structure, I'm going to do numbered rankings so that it's just not me rambling about my thoughts the whole time. I have three categories that I'm going to use for scoring. The first category is aesthetics/visuals, because I'm a very visual person, and I really appreciate when there's little details in there where you're like, oh, they really put effort into including that. And also, one of my best friends is in the film industry, so ever since then, I've definitely paid a lot more attention to camera angles and like cinematography, so I really appreciate that. The second is acting quality. Obviously, the better that is, the more enjoyable it is to watch the show. And the third category is going to be plot/structure. So let's get started. As you guys can tell, I'm wearing red today. I don't really own that many red clothes, so this is just all I had. I'm reviewing Carmen Sandiego, the new Netflix original series. It's obviously a kids show. It's also a crime show, and it has 2 seasons so far. Yeah, I'm really excited to tell you guys about this because, to be honest, I was very nervous. Depending on how old you are, you might have grown up playing like the Carmen Sandiego games and stuff when you were a kid. So I was like, ooh, I can't believe they're making a show, you know? Anyway, so for the first category, which is aesthetics/visuals, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Obviously, since this is a cartoon, I'm rating it based on the animation. It's really clean. There's like nice sharp lines. I normally actually, for me, when I'm watching something animated, I like the bubbly, like rounded corners and like something that looks really friendly and happy. But this show had more, yeah, just like a lot of sharp edges and clean lines in the animation, but they did it really well, and I kind of loved it. There's also a lot of action scenes in there, so you'll get a like cool slow-mo of Carmen doing awesome things and kicking bad guys' butts. For the second category, which is acting, obviously, since again this is an animated show, so I'm ranking it on the quality of the voice acting. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. The only reason, I mean, it was very good. The only reason it doesn't have a 5 out of 5 is me personally, I don't love really aggressive accents. And I know this is a kid's show, so if you were a kid, this would be a 5 out of 5. But for me, it was just a little bit much with certain accents. It was forced and maybe a little bit overdone for some of the characters, so I would sometimes cringe a little bit. But other than that, everyone did a great job, and you really do fall in love, especially with the main characters and even some of the bad guys too. Moving on to the third category, which is plot/structure. Oh my gosh, you guys. This gets a 5 out of 5. I was on the edge of my seat pretty much every episode. The structure of this show is that every episode is a new caper, which is just like a new crime to solve or whatever. So you don't necessarily have to watch them in order, although it does help in terms of sort of backstory. And yeah, if you're binge watching Netflix, obviously you're going to go in order. Also, even though this is a kids show, technically, I was laughing. There was a lot of funny moments that are written in there. They did a great job with that. So even if you're an adult, you're going to have fun watching this no matter what. It's just a very fun and lighthearted show. It doesn't take a lot of brain power. It's very feel good, and honestly, this one is like pretty relaxing, which is another reason why I loved it so much. For just generally, would I recommend this overall? Honestly, I would say yes, even if you don't really like cartoons, if not for any reason than the nostalgic factor. But really, they did do a great job with this one. As I said, I was pretty nervous about how, like, oh, I can't touch Carmen, but it was great. So yeah, I would definitely recommend you watch this. And just a random point that I wanted to tack on the end is in 2020 they actually came out with a new interactive episode, which I don't know if a lot of you guys have maybe seen Bandersnatch, where you get to choose, it's like a pick your own adventure, and there's options where you click what the character does. So that just came out, and it's not as advanced or doesn't have as many storylines and paths that Bandersnatch. I mean, Bandersnatch I think it could take you about 2 hours to get through, and there were so many different outcomes. But for Carmen, obviously, and it is for kids at the end of the day, so there weren't as many storylines, but it was still, I mean, I still had a good time. I think the whole thing only took maybe 30 minutes to get through. But yeah, so that's also another thing too, once you're done watching the first 2 seasons, if you want to check that out. But it's not really related. The plots don't really tie in or anything. It's just sort of an independent standing storyline for that. So yeah, hope this helps, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!